Hey, what up? How's it going? So it's late at night and we just finished a game of War Selection and man, it was a fun one. So I'm gonna go ahead and test out this new replay. Apparently now they fixed it, so it won't be buggy anymore. And yeah, I'll go ahead and show you how this game turned out. It was just me and my mate Lord Rantalot. So he's down here, and I spawned up here. Got myself my house fairly quickly, my scout going about, and I think I got myself a warehouse here soon enough as well to get here to the wood line and to the berries. So in this game we were kind of thinking to ourselves, well, we've tried out quite a bit, so we were going to try out a Stone Age rush and then follow it up with some kind of medieval rush and see how big the gap is between the usual rush speeds. And yeah, that's what we did. So down to the south here we've got a couple of randoms that made up the rest of the team. LCF, I saw a bit of him, Juan J26, and then this guy who was crying the whole game. Yeah, so pretty early on we saw that we had water and lots of fish, which is obviously great. I got my workers there pretty early on, yeah, just now, and started getting those fish. I got myself the movement speed upgrade as well. I really do like having that when it's these maps where you've got resources, you know, you've got your berries here, which is further away from the wood, you've got batches of wood, but nothing really all that close together. Just helps with the economy quite a bit, I find. And yeah, he's also pretty much doing the same thing over here. About now also I see that there's an iron mine over here and a copper mine up there. So I've got metal nearby, which is nice. I'll build my temple next to one of those, I'm thinking. And let's just speed this up a little bit. Yeah, so it's a really nice spawn. Yeah, so now I get my warehouses up and running, now that I'm more certain of how I'm going to be going about the Stone Age upgrading. Thinking I'll get my temple down here, and I'll build myself a couple of fight pits over here as well, which I'll then later upgrade into barracks. I did a light night rush last game, and it was a minute later than Solomon's latest rush guide. Got it at 13 minutes and 20 something seconds, I think it was. Mine was a minute later, so I've tested that, and then I thought to myself, well, I'll try out the squad rush with the swordsmen, because I'm going to be getting myself barracks up and running anyways to get my Stone Age rush. And so that was, yeah, that was my my plan. Whereas Lord Rantalot, he's planning on going Asia, and he'll get himself some troops in the medieval age and then just go for Turkey. Get that nice early industrial power. So yeah, there we go, got my temple up running, start upgrading to Europe. And at this time you also want to make sure, if you are going Europe, that you at least get your forge queued up. What I've started doing also is getting 2 forges queued up, because sometimes I've had a deer run through just as I want to build it, and yeah, then I can't build it anymore because I've just finished upgrading or something like that. So yeah, if I haven't got it built, but I've got it all queued up like this, then I get myself a second one queued up just in case. That does help quite a bit. So yeah, you can see here just from the fish we've got a huge amount of food coming in. I still want to finish off the berries. I don't like leaving those about, I don't know, I find it a bit wasteful. I'll get the food anyways at some point, but I really want to finish the berries and then upgrade my workers, get the farm up and running. I don't know, it's just my thing. And yeah, soon enough I noticed that they aren't able to reach the fish out here, so I just leave that be later on. But yeah, getting the fight pits up and running. We've got lots of food, so this is looking good for our Stone Age rush, which is of course extremely reliant upon food. This is why when you go Asia it's a whole lot easier. You get your poultry yard up and running and your Stone Age workers to get the food from there, and it's a whole lot easier. With Europe you're much slower, upgrading your houses and everything is just far slower. And yeah, I've kind of now seen how things are looking around my base, so I'm sending my scout out to look for enemies. Let's turn on the territory. We've already found one player over here, another one there and there. And yeah, we know that there's going to be more on this side, so just sending the scout over there. I do really like this position. You've got the stone mine right at the wood line, it's great. Which means I can upgrade my warehouses. And later on I even built a third one just in the middle here. And then get lots of workers on the stone mine. It worked out beautifully. I had a really great eco up and running. And with all of this, like, I have my warehouse for the fish right next to the copper mine as well, which I'll be mining later on. It just, yeah, couldn't get much better, to be honest. So I get my fight pits up and running. And I know it's going to be a bit of a long transition, but I still failed a little bit. I think I should have upgraded some workers immediately from here, from my wood line, and built a farm with them. Because there comes a period, or either that or not started training my warriors quite so quick. Because there comes a period where I'm just strapped for food for quite a while. Anyway, oh yeah, and this fucking boar over here. I was wondering if I could get him with my workers by switching them about. But look at him. What ends up happening is I should have moved him earlier, but yeah. He dies, and then of course he goes right around and gets him. I'm left with the one. But yeah. Mistakes happen. So I sent my workers over. A couple more workers, I think, from my wood line to pick up that food. Because right now I'm seeing it. That I'm going to be needing more food. So one of the things we're looking down here right now. Yeah, he's got his Stone Age workers coming in to collect the food from here. And he's got 5 fight pits up and running, along with his stone cutter for the upgrades, which of course you want if you're going for a Stone Age rush. The upgrades make a huge difference when you're attacking the eldest house. Probably can't see it right now because my beautiful face is in the way. So actually I'm going to quickly reduce the size of that. Yeah, and then you can see a little bit more of what's going on here. That's a lot better. And maybe if I show that, you'll be able to see there's an 80% chance of 5 armor, so your warriors usually have 5 attack. And if you get the upgrade, so you have 6 damage, you're definitely going to be doing at least 1 damage per attack, which is obviously worth it with an 80% chance of that defense. Now this is the Asian house here, where you've got 30% for 2 armor and 70% chance for 4 armor, so it's not as robust as the European one. So because I'm here, of course I get my fish up and running as soon as possible. And yeah, this is the part where I've started training troops, but I don't really have enough. Left soon enough, but I don't really have enough on food for me to start training my army. I should have upgraded a couple more workers from my wood line, sent them to the food, and then started creating my first force. But yeah, it all worked out in the end, so it's fine. Just good to notice, because that's how you get better. He's got a bit of a weird thing going on with his... Oh, okay, so he's building walls, that's why he's doing this. You can build walls around your poultry yard. I've stopped doing it now. I just keep my Stone Age workers there because they're going to be gathering the food for ages. The Stone Age workers carry like 4 times the amount of food. So the distance they walk is reduced so much that I don't see the need to create walls. I only used to do that when we had the Bronze Age, Medieval Age workers collecting the food, which we don't do anymore. Or better said, which I don't do anymore. Definitely have been learning quite a bit along with making this channel. It's been a fun experience actually, seeing what the other people are doing and trying out tactics now, because yeah, this game was fun. So I've got my troops up and running now, 30 warriors, as does Lord Rantalot. He's got his troops ready to go, and soon enough yeah, I think he's just finished training the last batch there. We send him marching on up. Yeah, there we go. Of course I see that there's a boar here, so I decide to get rid of that just before I do go up. I also got rid of the animals here that were near the tree line, which you should always do. If you have your warriors, you know, don't let them just stand about before you go and rush. Get rid of any animals that you see that could be dangerous for your workers in the near future. Of course, don't fight the mammoth, it's got way too much health, and they're gonna go extinct pretty soon. And yeah, we're off. I wonder what's happening in the meantime. So yeah, I really did see this guy, LCF, he's got some troops that he's just sending in. I really like it when people do this, it's just being aggressive is always such a good thing. You know, you're not spending much food at all, but what you're getting from it, I mean, yeah, you're not getting the fastest rush time, that's for sure. But I think that in team games it's not as important. When you're 1v1 and you're both doing the same rush, the question is, of course, who will get there first. Anyway, so yeah, we come into here, and this is who is this? Turkeys. So we come into his base, and he's got his own warriors up and running. So I start fighting them, and during the fight, I take 10 of my warriors off and start destroying the forge, because I don't want him to be able to build any towers near his base. And yeah, I've got so many troops that he's not going to be able to take out that army. And he's now not going to be able to get any towers set up. He sends in his workers, which are now all going to die as well. And this is just the first fort. We've got Lord Rantalot coming here as well. So he's going to go down. Especially if he doesn't have any help from his allies. Which, to be fair, he could. If there was a fast light night rush, we would be pretty screwed right now. This is the point where Solomon had them up and running. So he would be able to send them in if he had done everything right. And in comparison, we're only just reaching the Iron Age, so it definitely does slow you down a lot doing the Stone Age rush and then moving for a medieval unit rush. This probably wouldn't work against the higher elo players. To be fair, if you are at the front, which it turns out here I was, I actually thought I might be a bit further back, but when you're so far at the front, you should also just get towers surrounding your eldest house. I was quite lazy this game. I mean, no, I wasn't just lazy actually. I made the conscious decision not to do it because I wanted to get my swordsmen up and running, and I knew they were going to take so many resources that I just risked it. No risk, no fun, as they say. Oh, we got Usman over there. So he hasn't really got any defenses either. And we decide just to take out his economy. He has got a wall here, which would be annoying to get through. And yeah, we also then see over here VIP combat guy who actually played pretty well. He sent up archers, and we don't want to be fighting that, so especially not with the walls in a cramped area where we can't really get to the archers. That's the best position for them. So instead we just take out his barracks and we move up to his houses, and then we move on. And yeah, in the meantime I'm getting ready to get my swordsmen. got one mine up and running, and soon enough I pull some workers away from the wood line and I move them over here, build a second warehouse and just get all that metal coming in. And down here things are rather quiet. There's a tower somewhere here that's shooting away. And this little crybaby starts screaming for help. I mean, you can get towers, I don't know, I find this a bit of a waste. I think getting them near your mines for sure is good, but if there is a light night rush coming, these couple of towers, they're not going to stop the light knights. What will stop the light knights is a force of archers and the towers, so if you had both, then I would be more, then I would find it better, but I don't know. I just don't find it very strong. It takes so many resources, it does like nothing. And yeah, we're just waddling down to the next player over here now. Taken out all of these houses that were up here, or the barracks, slowed them down. And we've done all of this for a small sacrifice, but taking out the first player was already enough to justify that. And now we just come in and, yeah, we see he's already got ASAPs and we know we're not going to be really surviving. So we try to take out any workers that we can. And yeah, in the meantime I get myself, I thought I'd got them training already. What was I waiting for? Ah, yeah, right. So I wanted to get my workers upgraded first, exactly. I wanted to upgrade my workers, get the pop cap upgrade, train all the swordsmen, send them down and then upgrade. I think I also got myself a second pier, because it does cost quite a bit of food. What's going on over here? So we've got David. It's not exactly all that much action at all at the front. He's got some horse archers just running about here, which actually just getting shot at is quite funny. He could definitely have sent them in. Oh, let's see what. So these two look like they've mounted an assault, but it's comprised of archers. Ah, they tried getting towers. Okay, okay. That's actually pretty cool that they did that. Yeah, exactly. Sending up workers to the front is the best thing you can do. Why build towers in your own base when you could build towers outside of their base? It puts so much pressure on the enemy. Most of them just crack. He's upgraded now to medieval. This is looking like the replay does work though. It's nice and smooth. Ah, finally. Yeah, got all that fish coming in. It's a shame West Asia doesn't get any better boats. It really is. Alright, yeah, now the swordsmen are being produced. Yeah, so now I've upgraded everything and it costs so many resources. So many. This is why I didn't get them training at first. But now I've got enough workers on metal so that I can not just train the swordsmen but upgrade them once they're finished. I've got a whole lot of wood coming in. And with my second pier and my farm, I've also got the food that I need. So yeah. I want to know in the meantime, okay, so he's got shooting ranges up and running. What is this guy doing? Look, he's planning on building a wall of towers. I don't know, I just find that whole idea hilarious. But I really hope that someone tries to attack just so that they see the wall of towers. He could have gotten himself so much more, honestly. He could have just got himself so much more. Instead, he's still Bronze Age. So let's see what's happening down here. He's reached Eastern Asia, and he's just hiding these spearmen. Ah, but now they've got trebuchets and guardian towers hitting. He's screaming for help. Meanwhile, Juan's getting himself more towers. I wonder if he had more of an economy, this guy LCF. I'm gonna quickly switch over and see how things are looking like on his end, because although he did send troops, yeah, he's just totally out of resources. So he's got 15 on food and he's got 2 on wood, 5 on metal, oh, 6 on wood. It's gotta be wrong, right? No, he's got another. 20 on metal and like 10 on wood. I wonder if this shows me for him. Oh yeah, it does. This shows me for him. Okay, cool. Oh, so now he's actually got some more on wood. He used to have more on wheat. So it looks like he did switch it about. Training here. Oh man, that's a shame. That's a shame. He's gone Eastern Europe and he's getting himself archers. They're basically Bronze Age archers. Alright, so now he's getting attacked pretty hard now. Focused everything on the south, which gave myself and my mate up in the north a real breather. If they come at us at this point with these armies, to be fair, I had my swordsmen, I probably would have been able to take them out, but it would have slowed down my economy a whole lot. Yeah, which right now is actually, it's booming. Yeah, but then he quit, you know. Really just a shame. There's no reason to quit in a situation like this. You've still got mates that are sending up troops. You've still got towers that are shooting their troops. And yes, he may have a trebuchet or 2, but you're not gonna die. And by quitting, it just lets their whole army go on a march down south. So yeah. He's building up towers as well. What a bro. He has got lots of towers here, so there is no way that army is going to be able to get through. And in the meantime, yeah, we've got the force all trained and ready to upgrade. We've got more than enough resources. And the moment that this finished up, I also got my upgrade going for the late medieval. I'll say the moment, I think it was the moment. Apparently not. Disappointing. Yeah, already finished the first mine over there. It does take quite a lot of metal, and we are also 24 minutes in. Soon enough we could be seeing industrial units of theirs. Yeah, but they're just pulling back. You know, with the cavalry that they had, they could have come running around these lands, but yeah, they're playing aggressive, they're playing passive, playing very passive. Yeah, getting rid of these animals and going to the next mine. I really should have started upgrading. Makes me really sad. Should have started upgrading ages ago. I guess I was just I was really looking forward to this. I was laughing my ass off. This is the first time that I've done the squad rush. I haven't seen how powerful they are yet, so normally they've got 16 damage, these swordsmen, it's 35% chance, 6 armor, 45 for 3, 20 for 0. So yeah, not very robust at all, not very healthy. How much HP have they got? They got 80 HP. We'll see how much that changes once I upgrade. So of course I went just outside the territory before upgrading. Don't want them to be able to see anything. Meanwhile he's... It's beautiful, come on, that is beautiful. Gorgeous. That is so funny. Honestly, I might actually just take a screenshot of that right now. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's hilarious. And he's still building more. He's not happy with one row. He wants two. Oh man. Oh, alright. So back to the squads. Let me see. What have they got? Got 85 HP. 10% chance for 0, 10% chance for 3, 30 for 7, 50% chance for 12. That's really good actually. 50% chance for 12 armor. It's finally getting on par with the Legionnaires. But it's their damage, 19 damage, that's really going to cut through this. And he doesn't even see it at first. He then turns around. And I've got so many squads that he can hardly even get to it to repair. I've encircled the entire thing. There's no way he can stop this. That's so funny, honestly. They're so nasty. So now, Oseman comes around with his horse archers. And he starts being a pain. But that's fine, I'm just strolling on up. I think down here, yeah, there's no more attack happening there. Right, and now I'm upgrading. Ah, right, and I saw the industrial buildings were being built, which they really should patch. It's quite unfair that we can see this. But I saw that, so I knew I had to come up here and not go on down south. Which, yeah, I did. And took out those factories, which, when you've just hit industrial, it really is a big blow, losing that many resources and losing the troops at the front that were building it. They're just taking no damage. How much do these do? They do 9 damage. That means there is 50% chance for no damage and a 30% chance for 2 damage. So nasty. This guy is also still the Bronze Age though. And we're almost 30 minutes in. It's amazingly slow actually. But that's a really nice speed for the industrial from, what's his name? Rugburn. It's really good speed. So yeah, another thing now that I did here is I got my squads to attack different pieces of the wall so that he couldn't just defend it with one of his workers. And yeah, it's really not much of a deal to take that out. So I'm having the time of my life, just taking out most of his army here from North now as well. And now I'm deciding, do I want to go down south or do I want to go up north? And as I'm deciding, this combat guy comes on over. Raid comes on over with his longbows and starts destroying my squads, and I see them, but yeah, the squads are way too slow to do anything. I would have needed some support here, and I know that my mate was sending, yeah, he was sending Sarbaz in, but they're way too far away. So I wasn't able to chase him, that was clear for me. So what I did instead was I just sent a little group over, and that kind of pushed him away, so the rest of my troops could move on down. And I went for whoever was closest, which turned out to be the player over there. In the meantime, I'm upgrading to the Russian Empire. So yeah, a little bit more than 30 minutes in, which actually, you know, it isn't that bad considering we did a Stone Age rush, and we followed that up with a 60-man squad rush. We took out 3 players, and we're still hitting Russia. Well, we'll hit it before 35 minutes in, so all in all, it's not that bad. Still, these squads of mine are dead. I know that these longbowmen are gonna destroy them. So, what I should have done in hindsight is just gone straight for the economy here. I wasn't gonna be able to take out his capital, but I still wanted to try it, which is what I end up doing. But if right now I'd still take out his force because they are doing damage, even if it ain't that much. And just once again, I should have sent like 10 or so of my squads to chase away his longbowmen and got the rest to start destroying all the houses. That would have really slowed down this player, Noaflam. And now that I think about it, he actually got the Wonder. So that might have slowed him down enough for us to get the Wonder, you know. All of these choices. What are they doing? It's too concentrated for my squads. It only would have taken a second though. And I really actually needed that going to Russia. Well, just in general, going to industrial, you need your food. But yeah, so yeah, this was definitely a mistake. I wanted to see how much damage I could do. He had some workers which I was thinking I could chase away, but it's just no damage. Nothing significant anyways. And my squads are just getting melted. So yeah, in hindsight, taking down his housing would have been a far better call. Really wish I'd changed, got that week going. And yeah, it's a shame also because Lord Rantelop was just coming along with his Sarbaz. Although I don't think they would have taken out the longbows. They really are so strong. How much damage do they have? So they got 19 damage. Which funnily enough isn't as much as a squad, I think. Yeah, it is. Whereas the Sarbaz have 14. Difference is not even close. Yeah, they're gonna be massacred here. And now I send my squads on the houses. Just look how quickly they destroyed. I really could have just gone through the whole thing earlier. What a shame. What a shame, what a shame. Probably could have got his barracks too. Okay, so at this point I've noticed, that's great. Notice that. I've moved away now from the tree line, which I've depleted. I start deleting all the warehouses that I'm not going to be needing for the industrial. Don't want to be upgrading anything that I don't need. Get myself another warehouse here, just so it's nice and close. Move on over here, just far away, so the boars don't attack. And I train myself a couple more archers to take care of them. So I see there's actually a batch of 3. Yeah, the damage is just really insane from those longbowmen. They do a lot. And the metal mines have been depleted. So now I've got to start moving out even further. So I was really glad that I was upgrading to the industrial when I saw those other players' factories, because I'm expecting anything to come rolling up my way. Worst case scenario, I would have wheel tanks coming up and they would just take out my base. Now, once again, actually, looking in hindsight, if I'd upgraded some workers, I could have gotten myself some anti-tank hedgehogs here and here. Actually, I might not. I didn't even have to build them there. There's a cliff, so just gotten some here, and that would have been enough to block off any tanks that wanted to come through. I really should have done that. I'll remember that for next time. To be fair, they could also shoot the trees and force a path in. Maybe the best defense would also have just been to get myself some howitzers up and running sooner. And actually I should have done both. I really should have done both. But once again, now that I think about it, if they hadn't come for me, if I'd had a wall of some type, they would have just gone straight on around and gone for my mates, who would have been less prepared to defend than I actually was. I think. Am I the first to hit industrial from Outseam? I don't think that's possible, is it? No, it's not just yeah, it's not just possible, it is the case. Insane. So I'm the first one to hit industrial and it's 36 minutes in. So I'm obviously not playing against the best opponents here. So I do like taking Russia when I'm going Europe because it helps against Asia. They typically are able to swarm in the early industrial period, or when you're in late medieval, they'll come with their mounted guardsmen and with their free militiamen, and they'll just swarm your entire base. And with Russia, you can get a Death Scythe or two up and running, and you've got your Partesians, and once you upgrade the barracks, your soldiers that are also in reserves do really nice work. So yeah, I got this up fairly early, and I started getting some howitzers produced because I was expecting an industrial attack coming up for me. Got my mines up and running as fast as I could as well. You want that free metal flowing in as quickly as possible. Although once again, you know, maybe the better call would have been to use the resources I had to build another factory or two and get some more of those howitzers coming out. Still, the important thing is for myself that I was able to get all my workers upgraded. Once you've got that happening, you just have such a huge eco boom. It's great, it really is. This is nice. My mate Lord Rantalot, he just came up to the front over here and built a tower, which grants us vision of this entire area. Which is once again one of those little things that you can do that does so much for the team. So we'll see a lot of attacks now that are coming in from quite a distance. I also start doing the same thing here. I want to have vision over here, but it doesn't take long for me to notice that I haven't gotten any of the upgrades for expanding my territory, so the tower doesn't really get me that much. Still, it's something. It was a very relaxing game. Even with the opponents that we had, it was really just enjoyable. This part here was a bit stressful though. I saw the armored cars coming in and yeah, I really was not ready. I lost quite a lot of my workers as well during his attack, but it could have been so much worse, honestly. What ended up happening was honestly best case scenario for me. Yeah, he's got he's got like 10 of his armored cars. Just start running through. So I start getting myself a tower here. Should have got myself a tower here as well where my farm was, but yeah. Then I think I'll recall my troops soon enough. My work is there. And also in the meantime, I've just got my Partesians, which actually do a fair enough amount of damage. It's fair thing. So they're gonna do some damage, and this whole time I've also got my first howitzer up and running. I've got it hiding back there. I've got my upgrades also going. I can train light tanks now, which are going to help me quite a bit. And the accuracy will also improve my howitzers. But still, he takes out a whole lot. But now he leaves all of my workers here, which is very kind of him. And he moves up here where he's not really going to be able to do anything. If he had light tanks, this would be really terrifying. He would probably have destroyed this. But instead, with the armored cars, he gets a fair number of my workers, but not even all of them. I've got my tower here full. Which honestly I could have just emptied at this point and sent over to the left here, where they ain't attacking. And now I need to move my howitzers up. Yeah, that's right, I was looking over here at my workers. Once again, he does a real favor. He does me a real favor by trying to take out the tower, which I actually finished building and repair, and then I just put my workers in there, so I'm still getting food from my trawlers, you know, it's not that bad. Got my universities that are gonna help me get my economy back up and running, and I've still got my workers over here, so if I had gotten myself the anti-tank hedgehog, all of those armored cars would have just gone through here. Yeah, they would have gone through these little slits here. They would have taken out his entire economy. And he can't get himself troops like partitions. So yeah, you know, they're really good damage actually, look at that. Taking out his armored cars. Tower is helping there as well. He's not even moving his armored cars down there, I guess. I guess he was busy. Which is great for me. I take them out with my howitzers. And yeah, my partitions just keep doing work. I guess I was sleeping at this point. Because I have so many resources. I could have gotten myself my barracks up with these workers way sooner and gotten myself light tanks. Wow, the partitions, they actually got him. That's respectable, really is respectable. Considering that they're free units that you get. Can't be mad. Yeah, after his attack on me, we both know that we're gonna have to push in this way at the top. He's got light cannons and snipers coming up now, as Turkey does. And I wonder if anyone else now has finally... Yeah, okay. So LCF has now reached Russia. He upgraded all the towers, man. It's just so expensive. It's so expensive. Oh, look at that. That is pretty force of cannons, that is. But he doesn't know. He doesn't see the longbow then. Now he comes on over. Oh no, he didn't fire, come on. Shoot and fire, shoot and fire. Oh, it looks like he has even more cannons coming, okay. He's got partitions there as well. Yeah, right, so I see this force coming up. We know we're gonna wanna fight him, so we start preparing the stage. And we get our cannon set up over here, and I get my infantry here because they can come up from the side and take them out nicely from there. Yeah, and I start getting myself some more factories set up at this point. Got my barracks up and running. And I'm really just considering going straight for the second industrial. I've got resources coming in. I've got my universities that are getting me more workers. And yeah, the assault isn't looking that dangerous at the moment. I don't know if he got these because he lost the armor cars, and like if they were blocking him due to the unit cap. But he really should have sent them in together. If he had armored cars with this attack, it would have been really nasty. He would have been able to get a whole lot more of our troops, and these would have been able to actually destroy buildings. Yeah, but instead we've got our own light tank here now as well, which we're sending in. And they're all up and running. So let's see what our mates are doing over here. That's hilarious. That is so funny. At the far ass back of the map, where I don't think that even a bombardier ship would have that range. It might, but probably not to reach his capital. But he gets a line of trebuchets. That's so funny. That's a good 10,000 wood right there. Hilarious. Anyways. So, whilst this is happening, he's building up a frontier to attack us with, which doesn't sit very well with us at all. So we're just waiting for the first batch of tanks to finish construction, and then we're gonna go and get them ourselves. Oh look, now he's at... So he just stayed in the Bronze Age forever, but now suddenly he's reached the industrial, and he's upgrading the light knights that he never used to red devils. Fair enough, you know what? You do you. What's he got there? Yeah, he's just got his cav moving about. So he's just spamming light tanks, which honestly is going to be his downfall right now. We've got Turkey coming in with the light cannons, which is going to be hitting him from afar, and I've got my own light tanks that I'm going to be sending in once I hit the second industrial. I'm halfway, yeah, 40% through right now. Then I'm going to have the second industrial T-34s coming up. So yeah, light tanks definitely not what he needs right now to take me out. He's a cheeky guy. He tries going around the side there. Doesn't want to fight on our terms, but yeah, he doesn't have a choice. You do not give him a choice. I've got myself some soldiers for my barracks also. Just anticipating some airplanes, some bombers, trying to take out our land units. Because I'm not planning on getting myself any air units at all. I honestly find them too expensive, and I was already planning also on getting my docks up and running, because I only noticed it actually about this point in the game that I was really in range of the sea, and if any of them had sent a force of bombardier ships, they probably could have taken me out like that. So lucky me, they didn't. And the moment that the tanks meet up here at the front, we start moving on down with his factory line in sight. So meanwhile, let's see if anything is happening down here at the south. We saw the cannons coming in earlier, but yeah, it looks like LCF dealt with them. He's got his partitions there. He's now upgrading his barracks. I don't see any factories yet on his part, so a little bit of a slow. Oh no, over there. Okay. What has he got there? He's got. Oh, okay, he's got armored cars. I really am not the biggest fan of armored cars. I find tanks far better. Even the resistances of the tanks, they're just far better. You won't have mounted guardsmen tearing through the tanks close as quickly as you will with the armored cars. Those guardsmen, yeah, shred them. And yeah, right, so now Noir Flum, he's got himself the Wonder. So now the real battle begins. We want to push down here, take out these two players if we can, whilst on the way to Noir Flum. And here's hoping that our allies down here in the south, especially LCF, I really noticed him during the game. Hoping that he and, yeah, he's got his Major Anjay, they can take out the other troops down here in the south from, I don't even know what the names are. There's no way I'm going to say that. Yeah, just take down the troops in the south there. So, yeah, we really do need to work on our micro in this game. It's like there were things that happened. The light cannons were blocking the light tanks from moving through. So I did inform my mate that he needed to shoot and move, so that he wasn't blocking that, and then get my own howitzers, then start moving on down. And it's really nice having a combo of tanks, cannons, and yeah, the infantry are always nice. The snipers especially, of course, but especially in my opinion are now also essential to take out any air units. So you got your tanks at the front providing vision, if you don't have your own vision. You've got your artillery that are just destroying everything that they see. And then you've got your soldiers that are mainly meant for air defense, but there weren't any air units, so I just got them to shoot whatever. Did have quite a lot of tanks though, so also going to be the quickest thing. I think about now, yeah, so I got myself 3 torpedo boats and then 3 battleships in production. Because I've also seen, you know, this whole area here I can destroy. And in case one of them is planning on sending a fleet of their own. Well enough, I hadn't even seen, but this guy, he was training bombardier ships the entire time. So funny. Just because they have such great range. Alright, there we go. Anyways, back to combat. So things were looking pretty good actually for a time. Here at the front we were taking out a whole lot of his factories, but now we had this guy, VIP combat guy, who really did a decent job the entire game through. Not only he stopped me with his longbow force back when I had my squads, and now he's got his light tanks, which luckily for us can't actually make it through this little gap. I think, I'm not sure. I think if they could, they would have gone straight up here. Maybe they could, I don't know. I would just lose vision, okay. I was wondering what that was. Yeah, so he ends up taking out the batch of light tanks that we had there, which is quite a shame. So I start sending my next group. And now I've got these T-34s in production anyways. I should have sent them in earlier. Light cannons are going to suffer for that. Yeah, now I see it. But still, my eco is going great. I've got all of this wood just ready for me to take. I've got iron mine back there. I've got my iron up here. Another iron there, copper over here. Yeah, it's bliss actually, I'll be honest. This whole spawn for me was just great. Don't know why he's training armored cars though. Of all the units that he could be getting, that really are the worst. They won't even do much against the snipers. But they've got such a nice armor buff once they're entrenched like that. Should just gone for the light tanks. Yeah, and of course, once again, this guy he does the right stuff. He's got airfields up and running, and all of my infantry are gone. But luckily, Lord Rancelot still has his snipers, so he untrenches them. You can't shoot if you're entrenched like that. He has to take them out, but he does that. And I also noticed this, and I start getting myself some machine gunners to help take them out. And yeah, now we've got my navy that's ready to go. So I start moving them on down. He's got a whole lot of them coming up now. But it looks like he's burned through a lot of resources, because he's not training close to as much as what he could if he had full resources from his factories here. Right, so now he's taking them out from that entrenched position. They're gonna start destroying the Goliaths. They just exploded midair. I don't get that boat. They had fuel, they had oil. I don't get why they exploded midair. Is it because the airfield that they were from trained another aircraft that replaced them? I guess that is possible. I don't know, it's just weird. Anyways, so I'm moving on down here. Then I find he's also got himself some battleships, which I didn't even notice earlier on. Yeah, here come the first T-34s. It's a shame they are a little bit fatter than the light tanks, so I had to blow a hole in the tree line there for me to be able to get through. Yeah, just finish off that with my cannons. Just in general, when you have these fast little ships and your battleships together, it's a really nice combo, because the little ones go in first, the enemy battleships start shooting, and they miss most of the shots. And then your battleships come in, and because battleships are huge, you're gonna hit a fair number of your shots against their battleships. But yes, my battleships come down, they start doing work over here. If they had sent in their farming Goliaths, my torpedo boats also would have been able to help with that, but could have maybe destroyed one or two of them. Blowing away through there. Got my submachine guns coming. Wonder what's going on in the south by now. Probably, yeah, okay, so now they've got their tank rompers coming in. LCS has armored cars against big birders. It's hilarious, honestly, that's so funny. There's a chance that they will do 18 damage. So there's a 15% chance that they'll do damage. So funny. But his city hall is right there, so it isn't gonna take long for them to break through, especially with the tank rompers on the way. They are coming. So things are looking good down there, and up here we've finally managed to break through as well. We're taking out the factory line, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to take him out actually with my dreadnoughts, with my battleship, sorry. Ah, yeah, now this is the time where the VIP combat guy starts coming in for David with his light tanks. So he finds the way around. So yeah, it's a beautiful wall that he had. Truly a beautiful wall. It's a shame it didn't help him for much. So I sent in my troops, of course, to come and help. And my mate also has got his Zamborax there. I do make him aware in the chat, I tell him. And things actually look pretty good. I looked away for a while. And in that time he died. And yet I don't get how he died. He's got those troops right there. And we're taking out his... he's attacking, he's not repairing, he's attacking. Why why? Why? So let's see what happens here. Okay, he's got 2 more coming in. He's still attacking instead of repairing. It's because he's attacking. That's the reason why. That's really sad. Look, he's attacking them. Oh man, that is sad. That really is sad. Okay. Anyway, so that's how he died. Now we know. I think at this point I've finished off over here. Yeah, and now I need to get through there. Set my ships on up. See his docks, which of course I want to destroy. This is, yeah, so funny. It really is so funny. All the bombardier ships. You could have sent them over here actually, those light tanks. I would have had to pull back everything. But I don't think I would have died. I've got enough troops that are workers, that are close enough to repair. And we had the Zamborax also close by. Oh, okay, so it looks like they took him out. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, let's got some bombers. Howitzers, oh yeah. All the good stuff coming in. Tank rhombus, squadron cannons, let's go. I don't know who's that from. Rimarek. This dude over here, eh? Yeah. So they're all sending in troops now to the south, which is great. We've also preoccupied the player that hit industrial really early. I think that was the yellow player over here that hit industrial really early. Or was it this guy? Let's quickly check it out. VIP combat guy. Yeah, so they were both up here, the two that were doing the most work. Which was great for us. By taking the pressure from them off of the team and dealing those 3 killing blows before we even hit industrial. We really gave them a good shot at taking them out down there. Oh, that's hilarious. Good, oh, good on him. I love seeing stuff like this. Just come on down here, make a tower, and then start getting those artillery towers up and running. Because even if they're inaccurate as fuck, it's the most annoying thing to have artillery towers shooting at your base. All he has to do now is upgrade and get some vision up and running. That's so funny. I'm trying to blast my way through this fucking tree line over here. Of course, yeah, keep your workers at the front. Need them to do everything, whether it's building towers or deconstructing enemy anti-tank hedgehogs. You just always need workers at the front. And just an FYI also, these submachine gunners, they actually do decent work against tanks. Just because of that small little percentage that they won't defend against anything. And they do a fair amount of damage 5 times in a row. But yeah, he's also got his light cannons there, so we are going to be breaking through. Got more coming over. And they're all on the defensive now. We don't have to worry about a surprise attack here anymore. So we did get the forts, but I did bring them in as close as I could. And I couldn't find his base, so I couldn't see his base, better said. So I kind of accepted that I had to take him out with my land units. And yet I see this farming Goliaths over here, so send my machine gunners down to take those out. Yeah, they do great work. Submachine gunners are always just the best anti-air unit that you have. You could have those horses, but honestly, I'm just not a fan. Submachine gunners you can use for so many more things than just shooting against air units, and they do basically the same amount of damage for the same pop cap. Yeah, so now we see his base, and these bazookas, they just rip through your base. You're not going to survive with so many of them surrounding it. See how quickly this happens. he goes for the eco first. We will destroy everything. Just one volley and you're almost dead. There's no way you're repairing that in time. Yeah, and just like that, they're, well, in my opinion, their best player is gone. And I am wanting to move up here, but funnily enough, this guy being sneaky across the entire map, even though I've already secured it for him. Sneaky. So meanwhile, what's happening down here? They've got all the squadron cannons there, a whole lot of tanks. He's trying to defend with trench mortars, but you're not going to be able to. Oh wow, and here comes the Air Force. That does look pretty cool. Just in general, the industrial age of this game does look really cool. I love it. And there's the big burners. Get him. Get the big burners. Get the big burners. Okay, he's focused on the factories. Fair enough. So the factories are still training here. It would be cool if they could implement, I mean, maybe they don't want to implement it, but if they're going to stop the orders for all of your units after you die, they could also stop the orders from all of your buildings after you die. So you don't have this constant training of troops once you're dead. But yeah, I don't know if they want to implement that or not, we'll see. So, he comes on over, and I'm not sure, does he see it with his bombardier ships? Or does he just tell them all to shoot? Oh, he lands some, I see. He landed some units. Although it is possible that he's shooting them right. There's so many bombardier ships though, that's so funny. Glorious. But the house still survives. Cannonballs. We landed on the moon. Okay, and the player just quit now. So was he in range? Yeah, he was in range. But why does he start building universities first? Maybe he just wants to spam be able to spam workers, which actually in itself isn't a bad idea. All you needed was a tower though. Anyways. Got one of those over there. So, how are things looking down here? They've dealt with pretty much everything. Those air raids destroyed all of the factories, so we can't train any more units. Yeah, he's got a whole lot of workers, but nothing else now. Germany will fall. You should have to take rhombus moving through the sides so the machine guns are shooting the workers. They're really nice for the infantry. Also, when you're fighting versus China, the tank rhombus actually do a pretty good job. Yeah, now he's built more up at the front, more factories. And yeah, now we're just looking at this last player over here. So first things first, get vision. So that's what my mate over here does. He's got his tower, so we can have a little look-see inside his base. Still in range of their towers, funnily enough. It's about to have vision as well over there. And the Zombierax can get through the anti-tank hedgehog. So Rantalot is definitely going to be using that to his advantage. And while I just send all my tanks over, they're going to be the unit that, once there is a hole in the anti-tank hedgehog, all my tanks will just come on through, and that'll be the final push, to be honest. Yeah, so here they go running on through. And the submachine gun, machine gun towers are going to be destroying them fairly quickly, but he has a good idea. He just wants to take out their vision. That can't see anything. So he does that, and now his towers here can have a chance of actually destroying this line. But the rest of them die, so... Oh, yeah. That was clear that this guy was going to lose. Just lost the last of his workers, and now all the trench mortars and tanks just finished him. So I was kind of hoping that my workers could sneak on through, but he actually has a group of submachine gunners, and yeah, he takes them out before I can get rid of their anti-tank hedgehogs. So instead I pull my tanks back, and we both agree that he'll get another force of Zombierax, and then at one point we'll all just charge in. He'll send in his engineers that he's got here as well. I got myself a university here before sending down my workers, so I'm training engineers as well. And yeah, we're just going to finish them off like that. Meanwhile, from the south, they're moving in. I mean, if he was to defend for 15 minutes, that would be quite a feat, but he just hasn't got close to enough units. I wonder if he could have, given the circumstances, if he had enough anti-air guns, enough of these artillery towers, enough vision spread about the place, and with mortars instead of light cannons, or maybe a mix of the two. The little group of submachine gunners was a good choice. That really helped, yeah. Getting too close, you can punish you. But as it is, he's already looking pretty screwed, actually. Got so much that's coming. Especially with the Zombierax, they really are such a great unit. And when you mix them together with the Chinese mounted guardsmen, you have a really strong combo. Guardmen taking all of the infantry, and the Zombierax can take out all of the tanks and buildings. You can just run across the map. Right, so let's watch this final part now in normal speed. So we send in all of our units, he sent Zamburex in to get focused on and start doing damage. And then we send in all of our engineers to take out these anti-tank hedgehogs, and the moment that that's done, it's over. We start rolling on down. It's also got the same thing happening on this end over here. He does have his snipers on position, which also are a great unit. They do so much work. But still, he put up a formidable defense. Yeah, out of resources. That's what happens when you're trying to hold off the entire team. It's not really possible. He's got some APCs with some units there. But it doesn't look like he's gonna empty them. I wonder what he had in there. Probably trench mortars. Yeah, but here come the tanks. It's over, Jefferson. I don't know what this guy meant there. I was the perfect disguise. What do you mean you were the perfect disguise? You were destroyed fairly early on by a bunch of medieval swordsmen. I don't know how that means you were the perfect disguise. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, very fun game and enjoyable, relaxing. Wasn't that much that happened, but I still got to do the Stone Age rush and then see how the swordsman into squad rush goes, which really was quite a bit of fun. And yeah, there was even a good industrial battle that happened after that, so all in all, yeah, it was just a fun game, honestly. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment if you got anything to comment on, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.